biggest problem is convincing coaches and parents what the real issues are in terms of what could happen long term. If parents really understood how important preventing the injuries are, every single one of them would want to be involved in the prevention programs. But the biggest problem that we have is that until someone's injured, they usually don't recognize what can go wrong and how much it can mean for the rest of their lives. Now, most 14, 15, 16-year-olds think they're indestructible. And because of that, you can't convince them to spend time on injury prevention. They don't think it's going to happen to them.
One of the big problems with science is that it's often a long way away from coaching. And so there's a big disparity between the coach and the scientist, which is a problem. Because one of the things that we scientists forget is the coach really is the key in all of this. Because the coach has most of the input and most of the impact on the athlete. So the goal of this is to do two things. One is to educate the scientist in understanding how to communicate with the coach and interact with the coach. And the second thing to do is to educate the coach and let them know that the scientist isn't someone that sits in an ivory tower and really doesn't have any relevant input into prevention and performance. So we're really trying to break down that barrier, and I think this is a way of doing that because you can bring all of these groups together in one centre, which you ultimately need to do to prevent these injuries, because we can't ignore the fact that each of us is crucial in this overall role. We all need to be involved to prevent these injuries, and I think if we can get that together, I think that's what's going to make this prevention centre such a success.
Well, parents are often coaches, first of all, and coaches and parents should be partnering to assure that the activity experience children have are quality and well managed and organized.
Being a parent, I try to think of ways to have them realize just how important this is for the long-term health of their child. And sometimes you can reach parents, and usually it's because they've had some personal experience. If they themselves have been touched by injury and they know what that means, you know, they had a knee injury when they were a kid, or if the dad has an anterior cruciate ligament scar on his knee, he understands. But unless you've been through that, you don't really realize how devastating it can be and what a lifelong effect it can have.
Oversight with regard to clothing and nutrition and rest and so on are all elements that parents need to be well aware of and share and help children understand, think about, and manage for themselves. If you extend that into higher levels of competition, those same issues are at play, but perhaps even more so. So sleep is really important for the athlete before their competition. Nutrition, what should you eat, what shouldn't you eat, how much should you eat, what are the right kinds of things to eat are important for all kids as well as for athletes.
To learn more about the research at the Bone and Joint Injury Prevention and Rehabilitation Center, log on to our website, www.bjiprc.umich.edu.